Welcome back, everybody, to the Los Angeles Angels franchise here with the Two Idiots, where we are beginning this episode with a trade. It is going to be Alex Lang, a closing pitcher, and he is 32 years old, 77 overall right now with B potential. You may not be familiar or remember much about when we acquired Alex Lang, but looking at his attributes, this is why. His hits per nine is nearly immaculate. The home runs are pretty good. The clutch is up at 98, velo 99. There's a lot of things to like here. So then the question is, what went wrong? Well, Alex Lang we got as a backup idea behind Justin Martinez as a closer because Martinez was younger. And although his numbers looked good, we didn't quite know if he was going to work out. Well, it turns out that Martinez was spectacular. So there was actually no reason for us to use Lang. And if we go to the MLB stats, you can see he has not been used in the last 3 years that we've had him since 25. So Alex Lang has not been utilized by this team. His overall has remained underneath 80, so he's not reached his potential anyways. And in making these roster cuts through spring training, we're looking at these kind of guys and saying, okay, well, is there a realistic shot or a path for them to get there? And because of how good Martinez has done, we also have Keon De Leon as a closing pitcher that is very, very promising, and he's very young and up and coming. So I think the window for Alex Lang on this team has been closed, and it's time to go ahead and seal the deal. We're going to be picking up David Manuel from the Phillies, and he is a very low-level prospect. He's 20 years old, B potential, 53 overall, and his attributes right now are below acceptable levels. But what we're looking at is just a kind of long-term path to give us a little bit of depth and something in this position down in the minor leagues that could eventually turn into something. His fundamentals are at a pretty good level for age 20. Vision, discipline, and clutch, 50, 46, 40, respectively. His contact is in a good place at 53 and 50 versus righties and lefties, respectively. So we work on fundamentals. We work on the defense with him. And yeah, maybe in a few years, he might turn into something. And that's about the best value that we were able to find for Alex Lang. So we'll go ahead and do this trade and kick this episode off by saying goodbye. Trade complete. We are now going to move pretty quickly through the rest of spring training. It's been an okay start for us so far, but we are trying to make some moves, cut this roster down, and make the final decisions on who's going to make the opening day team. We will move ahead and try to skim through the next week, maybe week and a half of games, somewhere around there, and try to get to enough data to make a decision on some of these guys.
Yeah, 6 right over that little gap. That's not too bad.
That is nice.
Nice blowout against the Dodgers on the 4th, 11-3 victory. That's nice to see.
Hell yeah.
Put up some big numbers, but then we got stomped on the 8th.
Yeah.
3-10 loss to Cincy, but hey, that's not a bad balance out. So we'll check some stats and we'll make some decisions, and we'll come back and finish out spring training.
Well, simming turned out to be pretty successful. We won 6 out of the 8 games right there to go on a pretty hot streak, and now we are 11-5. We are definitely getting some valuable data on these guys, but no conclusive decisions have been made yet. So we are going to sim another week essentially and get through this game against Cincinnati on the 17th, and then with that data, we should be able to make at least one decision. Wow. And we win 3 out of 4. Simming seems to be the way. One of the last decisions that we have to make is to send a pitcher down. It doesn't necessarily have to be a starter, but that's where we're heavy currently. And in the final moments of spring training, we're looking at possibly the resurgence of Tink Hence. Well, maybe even resurgence isn't the right word because he's never really got there. He's never made it in a way that felt concrete, like Tink Hence is finally here. However, looking at his attributes and stats right here, he's got 17 innings pitched with 14 strikeouts and a 0.53 ERA right now. In the last 10 games, he has only allowed 1 earned run. Tink Hence has been on an absolute tear, and at 25 years old, 75 overall with 1 full year of MLB service, it could be time for Tink Hence to really, really make himself known with the Los Angeles Angels. But to do that, we're going to have to send down somebody that we were completely not expecting to, and that's Daniel Espino. In fact, we just made a recent trade to solidify Espino's spot in this starting rotation because of how much we were believing in him. But now After 14 innings, he's got a 6.43 ERA with a 2 whip. Espino has been collapsing while Hentz has been climbing. And they both have options. So at this point, it's looking very clear. Tank is here to stay, and Espino is going to go down. With only 5 games left in spring training, we still need to make the final decision on the last 2 cuts on who goes down to AAA. So we'll get a little bit more stats to finish out spring training. It's been very successful for us, actually, surprisingly so. We are 15-7, currently more wins than the Dodgers, and it is a 3-game series to finish spring training against them. I've actually never seen that before. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's not very common. Sometimes you'll see a home and away, but it's weird to see finish out on a 3-game stretch against anybody in the.
That's an actual series, yeah.
Yeah, strange.
Weird. All right, well, let's finish up spring and get ready for opening day. Oh, damn.
Yeah, we didn't finish very strong against the Dodgers, but spring training's just spring training. We're not really worried about the record. We just need the stats to find out who's getting cut.